All right, good morning, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, whatever time zone that you are in. Jesse Macpherson coming at you live here on a Wednesday morning, Tuesday evening for you guys back in the States. Back here in Manila, last night came back from an incredible trip to Thailand, which I will show off here a little bit here on purpose just to make you guys salivate for your next trip to Asia. Because if you guys didn't hear the good news, we have a few more rooms that have opened up and have extended the booking for our Bali Reward Escape trip that is going to be happening November 14th, 15th through the 19th, till the end of this month. So I know there are some of you that are already excited. If you have not been to Bali, Indonesia, it is so far number one on my list, which is tough to beat because it's one of those things that I constantly get asked. Out of all the countries that you've ever been to, what has been your favorite? Now, I have a top three, but this one right now from a couple years ago, I cannot wait to go back and spend some time there. I do have some recommendations for you guys if you're coming from all the way overseas, is to do the reward escape. And then probably if you're coming all the way is to book a couple of extra days. However, my recommendation, because there's two kind of parts of Bali, you have the kind of the beach area where we're going to be at the high-end resort, five-star property, luxury. We're going to have the welcome DJ, the shows. We're going to have our farewell party. We're going to have so much fun at this event. And then my recommendation after is to spend a couple of days, 2-3 days up in the mountains where like the rice field patties are, and you can get these like private bungalows, Airbnbs, jungle tree houses, or places that are just like crazy for like less than $100 a night. It's stupid. Transportation. So anyway, for those of you guys that are coming on that, we're super, 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 super excited for you guys. But here we are, September 17th, as we are heading into 37 days away from our official launch of Viago in Vegas. I know, right? I know that number just sounds like saying it out loud makes it even more and more real. For some reason why I thought we were like 40 something. So, but nope, 37, 38 days. I mean, max 38 days away from us being together in Las Vegas, which is going to be incredible. The launch of Viago is going to be something that every one of you is going to remember vividly, of being able to say that you were there. You were there at the very beginning. You were there at the launch event for our company as we are going into where we see the world of business, where we see the world of industry, where we see the world going when it comes to community and relationships, and especially with this. So before I jump into some of the details here tonight, I want to talk to you guys about presenting. Now, presenting can be one of the kind of the scariest things in the world when it comes to building your business. And it's something that I know many people struggle with, and some people haven't even attempted, right? Now, for those of you that are brand new, I don't expect you the day you get started to all of a sudden become a world-class presenter, right? In fact, there are some people that never want to be a presenter, and it isn't a requirement to go out there to start your business. It's not even a requirement to go out there to start earning some income, right, inside of your business. However, if you want to go earn a full-time living inside of Viago, presenting is going to be a skill that's going to help you get there a lot faster, right? Now, do I know people that just hate presenting all around, and have figured out a way to get around that? 100%. All right. Now, but the thing is that if you want to speed up your process, this is a skill set that I highly recommend that you take on as something that you can learn. Now, what I love is some people say, oh, I'm just not that. I'm just not this. And I can promise you that there is not a skill inside of our business that is well, you have it or you don't have it. All of the skills in order to be successful inside of Viago are skills that can be learned. Now, in the beginning, sometimes we're going to fumble through them, because if you've ever seen, I saw those reports of, things that people, like people's biggest fears, of being like, burned alive, drowning. And then like number one was like public speaking, which I was like, so people would rather die than give a talk in front of people, which is interesting, right? Just because, I know a lot of people, we have that fear, and it's like, it can be petrifying. It can be terrifying, right? So I totally get that. Now, through this process, what I do want you to do is I want you to give yourself a little bit of grace here in terms of this, because I'm going to go from kind of just the beginning phases of this, of starting, and then walking you through becoming what I would call a master presenter, or presenting with purpose. Now, I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you are the best presenter in the history of presenting, right? You're not batting 1,000. Now, for those of you guys that know baseball terms, what does that mean? That means that every time you get up to the plate, you're not getting home. You're not even getting on base, right? So even today, as I'm presenting and presenting to new people all the time, I have people who tell me no. Did you guys know that? They say no to me. Not only do I have no's, I have no shows, meaning like I have appointments set with somebody and they didn't show up. How about that? Now I think that's funny now because I'm like, really? Couldn't even show up to an appointment. Anyway, but in the beginning, I used to be like beat myself up over this and whether or not I was doing it right and am I doing it now? For many of you guys, it's not that you're not doing it right, it's you're not doing it enough. And that's one of the things I want you to get at. I would rather you do a terrible presentation today than a perfect one next year. I'd rather you do a terrible one that goes absolutely sideways on you today, right? And nothing goes according to plan. The slides don't even work. They're out of order. You say the wrong things. You call it a previous company. It's like you're sitting down and trying to, and whatever, like it is like wrong on so many levels. And I would be more excited about you doing that action today than waiting to do a perfect presentation next week, next month, next year. All right. So perfection is the enemy of your execution for most part. I don't want you to be focusing on perfection. What we're focusing on here is progress. What we want to do is get started. Now, for those of you that are still going, I don't know if I can get this done, here's a simple way to get started in the presenting, and I'm going to walk you through how we do it. All right, is practice it. Practice. Most of the things that we do in life that we're good at, we practice. Now, we might not do them publicly. And what's so great is you can practice in private. So you can practice to yourself. You can practice in the mirror. I know some people's like, that might be weird. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right. So you know what's weird? An adult saying that they haven't figured out how to do something because they're not willing to practice it in private. That's weird. So, okay. All right. I promise you can do this. Now, practice to a family member, practice to your spouse. So some of you guys are like, no, I ain't practicing with my spouse. Practice to your kids, right? Practice to your dog. See if you can keep your dog entertained for 15 minutes. All right. So does your dog, so I don't care. Set up those stuffed animals and do a group presentation. Right. So two stuffed animals on the couch. All right. Now, if you want to work up a little bit more confidence and a little bit more gusto, practice with a fellow agent. There's almost nothing better than you can do than practice with a fellow agent. Be like, hey, listen, can I practice my presentation with you guys? And this is one of those interesting things that I get a lot of pushback from is then people are having a skill or something that they're afraid to do. I get that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, feel the fear, do it anyway, face everything and rise. Yeah, I get it. And I totally, but here's what's not working: sitting with your fear and not doing anything to get you through it. So practice it with somebody, record your own presentation. You want to, this is because you're your own worst critic, right? So, record it on Zoom, record a presentation and then listen to your presentation. Now, some of you guys, that's a little bit far, all right. But let's get into kind of this idea behind presenting. So now, again, when you're brand new, I don't expect you to be presenting to the people you know. Most of this is when you're going to start presenting to people that you're being introduced to, or where you are the expert in the situation. Now, if you go back to a couple of our previous trainings, we did a couple of knockout trainings, I feel like, that were great on exposure process. We also did them on follow-ups. We did some stuff on follow-ups. We also did them on objections and really the power of third party and understanding that. So if you missed some of those trainings, they're available on our site, on our replays, and you're going to see some big updates here coming next month in our entire systems here with our synergy systems, which I'm excited. But getting right into the idea behind presenting is once I get with somebody, and I'm going to go present to them. Now, there's many different places that you could do a presentation. All right. So there's like a one-on-one, meaning maybe I'm meeting them at their house or meeting them at my house. Maybe I'm meeting them at a coffee shop presentation where we're just sitting down to have coffee and I'm showing them and I'm going through the deal with them. I could do a Zoom presentation, right? So I'm meeting them on Zoom as a Zoom presentation. So these are more what I would say individual types of presentations. And then you have group presentations. Now you have small group presentations and you have large group presentations. Now, usually you don't start off, with large group presentations. That's not normally how the thing goes. Normally, you'll start with one-on-ones, two-on-ones, and you'll move to a smaller one. We're in a group, and you'll usually start with kind of more doing like a testimonial before you're going to start and doing the presentation. Okay. But what'll happen is this: the more you hear the presentations, the more you hear them over and over and over and over, what'll start to happen is your language will start to be habitual. The same way that you know lyrics to songs you don't even like is the same way that you'll start to learn the presentation, right? And like for those of you guys that grew up in my generation, like I was a big basketball fan growing up. So if you guys remember the commercial, it was off the billboard, off the backboard, nothing but net, right? Now, for those of you guys that remember that from those old school commercials, you guys remember that. Now, how do you remember that, right? Because you heard it over and over and over, right? So for those of you guys that were growing up watching TV in my area, you can sing along. There's a story of a lovely lady, right? Yeah. How do you, some of you guys haven't heard that in like what, 15 years, but it's still right there, right? Why? Because you heard it over and over and over. It's the same thing in your presentations. I remember I would go to the presentation and see it every week, every week, every week, every week. And then after seeing it so many times, I was able to start regurgitating it, right? Now, eventually you kind of will make it your own. But in the beginning, I was just a good copycat. So when I was learning the presentations, every presenter that I knew that was great at presenting the program, I would show up and sit and take notes. And I was like a psychopath. You would have thought I was a stalker of some kind with these presenters because I would show up everywhere that I could just so I could sit in the front row and aggressively take notes. And I mean like aggressive. I would write down their jokes. I would write down I would even write down when these presenters were presenting, I would write down how many times they crossed the stage. Like I was that weirdo. I wrote down, did they talk about the slide before they clicked the slide? Did they not talk about it? But my favorite thing was transitions, jokes, and overcoming objections was all things that I was trying to figure out because what I noticed was these guys that were presenting at the end, the obvious answer was yes. And I was like, how is that possible where when I'm presenting, I am getting all of these objections, but when they present at the end, most of the time people go, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Like, and it was because like I remember thinking it was almost like they were Jedis. Like they had some force. I don't know if you guys know, because I remember presenting and they're like, you ready to get started? And people were like, oh, no, I need to think about it. And then these guys would be like presenting and they were, and they were like, are you ready to get started? And they were like, yes. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought I said the same things. But what I did realize is over a period of time is there were certain things that these presenters were doing to make them world class in their presentations. Now, I'm going to give you a few of those things here today. Now, the point of this is to give you a bunch of little nuances that you can start throwing into your presentation. Do I expect you to implement all of them today? No. What's going to happen is you might get one or two little nuggets and help you get 1 or 2% better. Remember, it's not perfection, progress. And then what'll happen is you'll come revisit this training and you'll be like, I missed that one. Oh, I can do that now. Oh, I can add that into my presentation. So we can get you a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. The thing that we want to do is not just make you a great presenter. We just want you to be a consistent presenter. And as you're consistently out there presenting, what's going to happen is you're going to get better. Now, for me, I'm under the adage of how fast can I do 100 presentations? Because for me, that's when I figured out is once I do 100 presentations, I kind of got it down. I kind of I figured it out. Until I've done 100, everything for me is practice. Okay. So everything for me is kind of, I'm practicing Viago presentations until then. Now I've been practicing for the past few weeks and I would have to say I'm getting pretty good at it. But also I've got 22 years of experience in presenting. And even before I got started in network marketing, I was teaching, I taught thousands of dance classes, which is presenting, you know? So for me, if you're just getting started on your journey or you are ramping this up to become a professional, so in this, I think a lot of these skills and a lot of these things we're going to talk about here today are going to help, right? Now, I'm going to talk about what's going to be the most common way that you're going to be presenting for most of you, which is going to be individually or one-on-one. Now, as you get into group and group dynamics, there's another training course on this. And one of the reasons why you want to get to Trainers Academy. When you get to Trainers Academy, this is one of those things that we train on is in presenting, and especially inside of groups, because there's some other dynamics that will enter into this. However, most people will start more so with one-on-ones, and these are going to be wildly effective. Now, here's just a quick pro tip. If you can meet with somebody in person, do it in person rather than do it on Zoom. Your ratios are going to be much better in person. They are going to be online. Now, I do realize for time constraints and also distance perspective, of course, if it's long distance, it's going to be tough to do in person. So obviously you're going to be on Zoom. A couple of things when you're on Zoom, just give you guys a couple of things in presenting on Zoom that I highly recommend. Okay. Number one, okay, is if you can stand up, stand up. Okay. Like right now, standing desks are so cheap. So you can get them, like I'm on a standing desk right now. So I'm standing up. So I'm a little bit more animated and motivated. You have to put out more energy on Zoom than you do in person because you aren't connected in the same way through the communication through online. Now, I know it might feel a little bit weird, but you're going to have to kind of animate a little bit more to obviously hold attention and keep attention when it comes to Zoom. Okay. Second thing here that is, I think, is important is when you're doing this to hide your view. It's natural for us to always watch ourselves when we're on Zoom. Now, a lot of you guys didn't know this, but there's a view button in the top right-hand corner of Zoom if you're on your computer, and you can hide self-view. What does that do? It hides you. They still see you, but you don't see you because you know on Zoom, a lot of times there's you and this person. Here's what most of you are doing. You're looking at yourself. Now, I know we don't consciously always do this, but if you hide you, you only see them. And then it feels a little bit more like a conversation. This is important. Now, I know this is going to be a little bit weird, but when you're looking at the person in their eyes, you're actually not looking at their eyes on Zoom. Just a small little tweak here. If you can, look into the camera. See the cameras on the top? That's the camera. Hi. So if I'm looking down here, I'm actually not looking at you. I'm looking at me talking in the screen, but the camera's up here. Notice the difference if I say, hey, here's what you need to do versus, hey, here's what you need to do. See how it's like, oh shit, he's talking to me right now, right? So those are just a couple of tweaks when it comes to Zooms, which I know many of you guys are doing that can help you guys a little bit here in terms of your near connections. So, but let's talk about meeting with somebody in person and going through it, okay? So first off, as you're about to present, so there's a lot of great training when it comes to personalities and different subsets where we talk about this. Many of us have learned through colors, which is like reds, greens, blues, and yellows. Okay, I'm not going to do a full training on personality types, but there's some great tests out there. Many of you guys have learned a lot of this from Mark Aceta. But when it came through the program of the different personalities, which we are all for, but reds are a little bit more on your competitive. They are go-getters. They're a lot of times your A-type personalities, right? So make it happen. Then you've got your yellows, which are usually your more cause motivated. These are people that will give you the shirt off of their back, usually don't want the limelight. Usually these are a lot of times your volunteers and PTA and usually very heavily involved a lot of times in religious activities and contribution and volunteer work. Then you've got your blues, and your blues are all about the fun, right? So they just, is it fun? I'm there. Is it not fun? I'm moving on to something more fun, right? So whatever it is, right? Usually not the most detail oriented. Usually cars are a mess. They wear flashy things, flashy clothes and all that kind of stuff. They're the life of the party. They always like to have a good time. They're late to everything. And then you have your greens. Your greens are kind of that opposite. Your greens are your analyticals, your details, your spreadsheets, your engineers. They love when the numbers match up, your accountants. All right. So these are the people that will read the fine print. You know, blues don't even know that there is a policies and procedures, and greens have read it, right? So these are the ones that will study. They take a long time to make a decision, but when they make it, they rarely change it. Where blues will change their mind before they finish a thought sometimes, right? So anyway, you have these different personalities. Now, through this, as this is an important in getting a chance to get connected with the person that you're meeting with. Now, if you know this person well, so you might not have to do as much of this, but this is where asking questions. Questions are the answers. Learning to ask a quality question, okay? And what you'll notice is inside of my presentation, I want you to write this down, is you're looking for a minimum of 7 minor agreements. Okay, what's a minor agreement? A minor agreement is something in your presentation where once you say it, they might not say yes out loud, but they give you a little bit of a yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I got it. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Those are the things that you're looking for, which are these minor agreements. It's not a hard close. It's not like are you ready to join? Now, why is this important? Because if you get a lot of these in your presentation, we call this nodding and bobbing. Everyone do this? Nodding and bobbing. Yeah. So nodding and bobbing. Yeah. Yeah. So that makes sense, right? Doesn't it? Yeah. Cool. Right. Yeah. And then by the end of the presentation, you're like, so you ready to get started? Yeah, all things that get in motion tend to stay in motion as we're doing this presentation and as we're presenting it. Now, what'll be awkward in the beginning will become more comfortable over a period of time. So as you start learning the presentation and learning how to do it. But when I was taking notes and learning from great presenters, my favorite thing was their jokes or their analogies or their points. And if I could steal those. So when I say something in the presentation, okay, so, and you like it, good example, whenever you hear me or ever you hear someone do a presentation, you hear something or you go, oh, that was good. Steal it, steal it, steal it, steal it, steal it, steal it. I don't understand why people don't steal. I say good stuff and most people don't steal it. Like I rarely hear my jokes. Like I don't understand why. I think they're great. You guys laugh at them and many people do not copy them. Now, here's what you don't know. It wasn't my joke. I stole it from someone else. You just heard it from me first. So, okay, now this is most stuff. Now, there are a few Jesse-isms or just JMac originals. Not a lot. I'm letting you know right now. Most of the things that I say that you think are Jesse's are not mine. they're not. You just heard it from me first, but I wrote that joke down in 2003, 21 years ago. And I heard someone present in their present. I was like, ooh, that's good. And I just stole it. I'm just literally collecting all of these little lines for like my presentation from my little bag of presentation tricks, right? And then one of the things that ends up happening where in the beginning, what seems to be uncomfortable, then you start getting a flow and a cadence to it, right? So where when you're presenting now, you're not actually thinking about what you need to say, you're actually present with the person. Now, does that happen overnight? No, but will it happen over time? 100%. Okay, so let's jump through it and kind of take a look at it. Now, I wanted you to take you guys here real quick. The most updated recent presentation that we're utilizing is from James Kursky, and it's on Chillin' Worldwide. We will have an updated one on our team site, but we are doing a complete overhaul on our synergy systems. So I recommend here, this one has the most recent updated one. So chillinworldwide.com. If you scroll down here, there's a little button here that says presentation. Now under the presentation, you'll notice that there's a video here where you can download the video, play the video, which is amazing. But right down here is also download presentation slides. They have it in Keynote, they have it in PowerPoint, and they have it in PDF, right? So now there's some optional slides and things that you can add on and things like that that you can kind of go after, which is obviously some of the presentations and things like that. But don't get caught up too much in this, by the way. Again, some of us are super concerned about it being perfect. It doesn't need to be. They don't know what the slides are. You could mess it up. You could do it in the wrong order. They don't know. They don't know what it's supposed to be like. So you're good. okay? And if you really mess up a presentation, just apologize. Be like, hey, I messed up. I'm so sorry. Can I try again? Just go redo it again on them. Why not? So, in fact, if you really want to have fun with presenting, here's a recommendation. Literally, go do a presentation, call your biggest haters, call them and just say, listen, I need your help. Why? I need 15 minutes of your time. Okay. I need to practice my Viago presentation, and you're the perfect person to practice on because I know you would be a hard no, no matter what. So, well, maybe I wouldn't be a hard no, right? So sometimes your negatives will do a double negative on you and be like, well, I don't know, let's go do the presentation, right? So everything's up on there. But let me take a look at this, go through this so I can pull up these slides for you. So, and okay, all righty. Now, okay. I'm gonna pull this up, okay? And let me show you a few things. Now, some of you guys, PowerPoint is not something that you are familiar with, so I recommend that you learn a little bit. Now, you don't need to learn a whole lot on PowerPoint, okay? But a few things here that I think are gonna help you and start becoming a good presenter, okay? One of those things of learning how to be a good presenter or whatever it is as you can hide or unhide slides in the presentation. So you'll notice here inside of the presentation, you have these slides on the left-hand side, and you'll notice that this one has an X out, it's grayed out, which means it's hidden, right? So now on this, if you right-click on it or on your Mac, control click, you can unhide the slide. Okay, so you can also come up here and go to, there's another way to do it up here. I just don't remember. But anyway, that's always how I do it. So you can hide or unhide slides. So that way, when you're presenting it, it doesn't show that slide. So you could also delete it if you really don't want it. Okay, so me personally, yeah, so you've got these presentations. I recommend if you want to is have a picture of you or picture of your why when you before you start your presentation. I'm going to talk about what you do before the presentation, and then I'm going to kind of scroll through this. And then these are the slides. So as I go through this, okay, there's some slides here. There's some great ones from Europe. There's a bunch in here that are hidden. And the reason why is they're in euros. So if you were presenting it to somebody in Europe, you might unhide the euro slide, the slides that present the prices in euros. You might hide a couple of them, you might keep a couple of them. We also have added these in here, which is new, which is one of the reasons why the file size is bigger, okay, just so you know, is we have two different now slides for each of the reward escapes. One that has just the slide and one that just has the video. So take a look here. So now you have the Playa del Carmen, so the reward escape, okay? And check this out, which is nice. So this one has the video in the background. So I like this because I think if they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, how much is a video worth? And that way, when I'm talking about being on this reward escape, imagine being there at that pool with your friends and your family for only $4.99 per person on this all-inclusive at this amazing resort. So this is where we want you to go. Now, we also have in Bali. Now, here's the resort in Bali, by the way. So, and incredible. So we've got the video here for Bali, okay? So then we've got Dubai. Here's the video for Dubai, right? So if you want to come to Dubai with us in March, it's going to be incredible. So, so there's a few things here before we go through the slides. Now, as we continue in this, okay, if there's something that you feel really tripped up about, right, meaning you just feel like, I don't feel comfortable presenting this section, hide it. There's nothing that says you have to, right? So if some people are like, I just don't know how to do this, okay, then hide that. We can always add that later. It's fine. So, but just getting out there and presenting through the information here of what it is that we have. So what are we really doing? We're presenting our club. So our lifestyle club and the benefits that we get from the club. Now, one of the most important things in presenting is facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. So some of the details that are going to be on this, I want you to think about it as a detail, right? It's a fact, right? But then a story. Here's the stories that are the most important stories, your stories, and the people you know personally, okay? So here's how I used this benefit. Here's where I use this benefit. And if you have a personal, if you can, you want to add it to the slides, great. You want to add it to a slide, but you don't even have to. If all you did was you had it on your phone, right? So on your phone, you have, hey, here was the room that I booked, and here's the savings that I had on this. Boom. You don't have to put it in your PowerPoint presentation. If you want to, you can. It's not required. So, but something that shows a real life transaction of something that saved you. Now, okay, pictures and videos. So a good example is I'm going to show you guys Thailand real quick, just so I kind of as I show off a trip. So now, as you're presenting, we're going to go through kind of closing and we get to the end. Are you ready to get started and all that? But let's talk about how you open. Okay. So I want to share with you guys the conversation I'm having with people right now as to why Viago. Okay. All right. Now, this is kind of like my pre-conversation when I'm talking to them about what I'm so excited about. So I'm going to use Shar in this example. So I'm going to just pretend like I'm meeting with Shar. Okay. So Shar, anyway, so I'm so happy we finally have an opportunity to catch up. I'm super, super, super excited to introduce you to this company, Viago, that I'm a part of helping launch October 25th in Las Vegas. So hence the background. I'm not actually in Vegas. So, but man, I just, it's one of those things where I feel very fortunate to have had an opportunity to see this before everybody else. Okay. So these are some of the language. I want you can write some of these things down that I'm using when I'm presenting and before I'm going into the presentation. Okay. All right. So Viago, so the company is called Viago. So just so you know, and which is via, which is the way, and the way to go. So what's the way to go? And the reason why this company is being launched, and the reason why is because we're looking at the future of business. And we really saw, now I've been involved in this conversation, so I'm using the word we because I've been a part of kind of co-creating this. If you don't feel comfortable using the word we, you don't have to. So you can say they or the company. All right. So Viago really, what they see as the future is we see as the future is the biggest businesses in the world are creating subscription businesses, subscription-based models. And for us, we thought that as AI is replacing a lot of the technology and a lot of the work that's out there, but the one thing that AI is definitely not replacing is humanity. Now, some people want to spend time with robots, but not most people. Most people want to spend time with people. And we believe that in the future, that's going to be more and more relevant and more important. And so having a community and a tribe of people that through a membership or through a club can really connect and share life experiences and save and create better memories and also give them access to the things that are going to improve the quality of their life is something that we believe is where the future of business is heading. So that is the kind of the essence as to really what Viago is starting and what it's launching as being the ultimate lifestyle company, the ultimate lifestyle club, or the ultimate lifestyle membership. Okay, however you'd want to kind of chat about it or talk about it. So anyway, the company is launching right now. We're in pre-launch. It's launching October 25th in Las Vegas. So right now, from a timing standpoint, is very, very, very unique. And because it's one of those things where in business, if you can be in the right place at the right time, you can really hit a home run if you're willing to work hard. So let me jump into it because I want to show you the benefits. So that way you can understand how cool this is. So like I said, company's launching October in Vegas. So which I'm super excited to be there. And I would love to invite you to come with me. It's going to be an amazing launch. So anyway, when was the last time you were in Vegas? Okay. Now I'm going to give you guys some of the things that I do in my presentation, okay, that are geared around creating a conversation. So once you start to kind of get the habit of this, what your goal is to be presentational, okay? Or sorry, not to be presentational, but conversational. So meaning you're asking some questions, right? So here's this, here's that. So questions and things that you can ask. So here's a question, hey, when was the last time you were in Vegas? Never? Oh my God. Well, we got to get you to go. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So we're a membership club. So we're an invite-only exclusive membership club. And through our membership, through Club Iago, you get access to a host of different benefits. So let me show you a couple of these here real quick, okay? So the first thing that you get access to as a Club Iago member is you get unlimited wholesale access to our Pro Search, which is like your like Expedia or Booking.com or Hotels.com, stuff like that. So now on those sites, you get charged per booking because that's how they make their money. With us, we pass on 100% of the savings we get wholesale to you because we're not making any money off of your booking, your hotel, your flight, or your car. We're simply wanting you to be a happy, loyal member. So give you some examples, right? So here's a great place. That is in Italy. If you've ever wanted to go to Rome, 4-star property, the public price, right? It's $300. You would save $46 per night, or $46. Here's in Caesar's Palace in Vegas. The public price is $149. The savings is $48. Our member price is $101. That's almost $50 a night you would save if you stayed for 4 nights. That's a $200 savings. All right. So how about in Times Square? There's a $400 savings per night. How about in Miami, Florida, $141 savings per night, right? So this is at a resort, a condo. So that's one of the benefits. Now, what I would do right there is show a benefit where you've used the booking engine for something, okay? For a week stay, for a car rental, for, obviously flights. I'm not promoting heavily on flights. And the reason why is because, of course, there's no real savings on flights. It just doesn't exist across the travel industry, right? So I'm pushing on hotels, rent-a-cars. You'll save, usually there'll be some, if not huge savings. And then the week-long stays, all right, is something huge. Now, the next piece of this is escapes. Now, this is really where I'm going to pour this on. And the reason why is because it's one of our biggest benefits. Okay. So escapes are our trips that we create for our members. Okay. So when we're creating an escape, this is our 4- and 5-star luxury experiences where we handle all the booking and the reservations. Okay. So where you get to truly explore. Okay. And obviously, if I'm clicking on to the next slide, so we can talk about Playa del Carmen. We've got this event in December, right? So this is an incredible trip where the comparable price online is well over $1,000 for 2 people, $1,700, which is the resort only. And all this, you get access to this and this and this and this. So benefit, 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 right? Now, if you've never been on an escape, I can tell you right now, it's one of those things. It's difficult to share with people the value of a product you haven't experienced yet. So this is where, if you're brand new, it's like book your next escape, like get on your next escape, because once you're there and you take those pictures, take those photos, it's so, I don't want to say easy, but it's much simpler for you to be able to share what it is that we do here, especially with the escapes. Now, we can talk about how it's $650, but we also here at Viago have what we call rewards points. And those rewards points actually can reduce this down all the way to $4.99. Okay. So now that's one of them. Now, obviously, I've got the videos in here so you can take a look at the price if you want to do that. We also have Bali coming up in November, so you can talk about this. We also have Dubai coming up in March, right? Which is a crazy trip. So bucket list trip if you've never done these trips. But we have these all over the world where you can do a small group. Some of them you can do intimate with just a couple of people. They are incredible, incredible trips. One of the other benefits that we have here is what we call our Be Well. Our Be Well with Viago is like our telemedicine or teledoc, where you get access to 50 states, 35 countries, over 200 languages, zero copay for you and your family. So you can literally get on Zoom with your doctor and get prescriptions. So you don't have to go wait in line and urgent care and all these other things. So this is a huge time saver. Some of the things that I'm promoting here, I'm not promoting based around using it all the time, but using it occasionally. All I need them to understand is over the course of the year, our membership is valuable over the course of a year, not necessarily something that they're looking at every month. Okay. So if I'm looking at the course of the value over a year, making sure that they see the benefits over a year, then the monthly is going to make sense for sure. Okay. Daily deals. Daily deals. This is where you save thousands of dollars a year off of all of our online programs. This is one you must, I repeat, you must show a personal testimonial. The reason why is this is too much information. It's too broad. Okay. It's not specific enough, right? Is this an incredible savings program? 100%. But this is where they need to see you. Here's where I used restaurant.com and I used it to save this. This is my experience. Here's what I saved on buying here. Here's what I saved on buying here. Here's what I saved on buying here. And we're going to create those testimonials, some of those for you guys. But again, nothing beats a personal testimonial. So get in there and go use it. Go find a reason to go use your daily deals, to go in there and, go do something with it. Go to a show. Like when I went and I took my wife for her birthday in New York City, we went to go see Aladdin on Broadway, and we got a 2-for-1 deal. It saved me $200 on last minute tickets on Broadway on our experience page, which is really freaking cool. So after that, we have our marketplace of products here. So here with Viago, we believe that we want you to live the good life, which is not only the places you go, the life that you experience, but also how you feel when you do it. So we want you to feel good and we want you to look good while you're going out there experiencing the world. And with that, we have a line of products that is designed, that is all organic, plant-based, vegan, non-GMO, that helps you in all these types of different areas. Now, we have a few of these products right now. And after our launch in Vegas, you're going to see a lot more of these products come here by the end of 2024. So now the next part of this is we also have products that are designed for your skin that are derived from the minerals from the Dead Sea. So we like to say their slogan is created by nature, tested by science, proven by you. Now, the Dead Sea has been the #1 source of healing on the planet for people's skin for thousands of years. And what this company has done is they've taken these minerals from the Dead Sea and put it in a full line of products. So everything you need, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Now, you're going to see some big updates of this come at the end in October at the launch in Las Vegas. They have access to quite a few of those products, and they're available through our marketplace. Now, what does that basically mean? Well, our membership recap here with Viago. So we give you access to our curated escapes, our discount travel booking engine. You can use unlimited times, VIP experiences, daily member deals that will save you on your daily spending, for sure monthly spending on things that you do, your telemedicine save you, and the best pricing on all of our wellness products. Okay. So how much is it? It's $450 to join and $99 a month to become a Viago member. Now, what do you get for that? Well, when you join, we're immediately going to give you $600 in value. Now, what do I mean by that? We're going to give you 500 escape points. 500 escape points. What are these escape points? Remember when I showed you those trips, how you could reduce the trip based on points? We're going to give you 500 immediately. That's basically dollar for dollar, like $500 to use towards one of our trips, our reward escape trips. And we're going to give you $100 in product credit to shop to your heart's desire, right? So that's over $600 just for coming in $450, which is, it's kind of like a no-brainer to me. All right. Now, from the $99 a month membership, we're going to give you $50 in monthly product credit to purchase our products, or you can convert that $50 into 50 travel points if you want to add it to your trip. So products or trips, your $50 a month is going to come from every single month from your membership. Now, here's one of the things. We have a rule in our club. If you don't want to be in the club, we don't want you in the club. Now, I stole that from Eric Grzybowski. All right. So, and I use it all the time. Why? Because it's good. When he said it, what it did is it helped reduce the concern of long-term commitment, long contracts, all these different things that people they're like, oh, well, they don't even want me. I was like, well, great. Then they're not trying to lock me into something. Look, there's no contracts. It's very simple. You pay for it, you have access to your membership. You don't, you don't. Now, one of the reasons why you're going to want to be a member every month is because of our loyalty program. See, when you are a member for 12 months in a row, every year after your 12-month anniversary, we're going to give you what we call a Viago getaway. This is a 7-night hotel stay, or you can exchange it for 1,000 trip points, which is basically $1,000 towards travel with our rewards escape program. So this is a huge benefit. So at the end of the year, every year, it's basically paying for itself just with this. Now, let alone all the other benefits, whether you use all of them or not. This is so This is a crazy program. Now, this is where I am using all of this to start closing throughout the presentation. So going, here's what's great. This is why I love this. This is why I'm so excited. This is amazing, right? So this is where I'm trying to get these little minor agreements where someone goes, oh, that's cool. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's a cool benefit, right? So I'm not trying to get them enrolled yet. I'm trying to get them to go, oh, okay, I like that, okay? Now, that's why we say we're the ultimate lifestyle club. We want to help you look better, feel better, and experience the world here with Club Iago. So at that point, you could stop the presentation and close them right there on the deal if you wanted to. If you didn't feel comfortable talking about the business, or they were like, I'm not interested in the business, you don't have to. But I'm going to continue on from here and talk about becoming an ambassador, right? So if I was talking with Shar, say, so Shar, now, look, you can just become a club member and enjoy all the benefits. I'm going to Mexico in December. I really want you to come with me. So listen, I want to get you booked on this. I'm going to Bali in November. I want you to come with me. Hey, I'm going to Dubai in March. I want you to come with me. Invite them to come with you on a trip. Invite them. And if you don't have your next trip booked, you need to. So, right, we got to make sure you're a product of the product here, people. So, but the flip side of this is there's another opportunity here to become an ambassador. And what is it? It's a brand ambassador for the company. Now, why? Well, Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. That doesn't sound fun. So for me, I was very interested in this concept because it was something that provided a different type of income. Now, you can become a brand ambassador with the company for only $49 for the year. So if you add that on, 450 plus 49, it's $499 to join. Okay. So now this part of this, by the way, this is why you always want to show up, because you see Shar with the pink hair in the picture, right? She can always say forever she was in that photo. She's easy to find too. So I know there are many of you that are in this photo. Now, some of you guys are like, I'm off to the left. I promise I'm there. Well, guess what? You can just move the photo over on your presentation and so you can see yourself in it. Okay. Now, all right. Now, compensation plan. I don't spend any time on this. I'm telling you right now. In fact, honestly, I usually kind of hide this slide because I think I don't need to go through all this information. If I do, I just touch on, look, there's a lot of ways this company pays through their affiliate program, through their ambassador program. But in Vegas, you'll hear all about them. Right now, I'm only going to focus on two, which is their direct bonus and their residual bonus. Okay. Direct bonus, residual bonus. Focus on two. So I'll only explain two, because I don't want them to be confused. They don't need to understand double backflip, compensation, left leg, right. No. So how much, how fast? Here's how simple it is. So if this is you and you refer somebody that joins the club for $450, you're going to earn $150 direct commission, which is pretty incredible. It's like 33%. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. So that'd be one, right? Now, but what we always recommend is four. If you refer four, why? Because then you'd make $600. Now, what do you have? You made $600. You have $600 in value because you have $500 towards a trip, $100 in product credit. You just made $600, right? So you have a business scot-free. So, and you've got all these benefits, and that can pay for your flight, to your next escape or wherever it is, right? To get you going. And you're just getting started. So this would be from referring four. Okay. So now from there, if those four referred four, you'd have a total of 20. Okay. Four refer four, you'd have a total of 20. Okay. So simple example. Now I'm sure you know some people that need a trip, right? I also am sure you know some people that probably wouldn't mind earning some extra income. Okay. So this year. Now, does that mean everybody would be interested? No, of course not. I didn't ask for 400. We just asked for four. Now, these are some of the things that I'm doing in my presentation because, again, what sometimes people say, I don't know anybody. I'm not asking for a lot. Four, just four. That's it. It's not like everyone do this. Like, no big deal. No big deal. Yeah. It's like, okay. So four, that's it. So, okay. Now, the next slide is the monthly residual slide, which is the squared bonus. Now, I don't say squared bonus because what does that mean to somebody? They don't know what squared means, right? So it's a monthly residual, okay? So Here we have our our marketing program is what we call a binary, which is a fancy word for two. So, and on this, so we have this affiliate network. I use the word affiliate network. You can say ambassador network or affiliate network. The reason why is because that's how most people associate. Anytime you're referring somebody to a program now, it's usually an affiliate type of a program, right? So, all right. So through this network, affiliate network, ambassador network, everyone that you refer gets connected to this network, and you'll have a left team and a right team. So when you have 5 on each team that are members, they start you at $50 monthly residual. Now, not a bunch, but hey, so covers the other half of your membership. Once you get to 1010, check out this jump, $200 a month. This is pretty cool. So $200 a month, heck, pay for your cell phone, pay for maybe a small car payment, right? So you can knock out a bill residually with this. 25-25, 500, 50-50, $1,000. Now, what's so great about this is once you get to 50-50, not only do you make $1,000 monthly residual, but now when you're 50-50, you earn an extra $50 for every new pack that your network enrolls. So this could actually be big. Your team signs up in 10 people, signs up 20 people. That could be an extra 500, could be an extra $1,000 just right there. Now, this goes all the way up to $36,000 per month when your monthly residual as your network continues to grow. So, and there are people I know that are making over $500,000. I know people that are making over $1 million a year residually doing this, right? Now, I'd be like, me. So, but when I was first presenting, obviously, I was presenting it from the standpoint of being brand new. So, as we would build this. So these are a couple things in the residuals. It was there pretty much as simple. Now, peace of mind. We also have access to incredible healthcare and health share plans. So, which right now, if you don't have it covered through your job or through your work and you want to take a look and get a quote immediately from us when you are an ambassador with our program, you can say, I mean, you could probably save yourself much more than just your membership is just with these programs. So, all right, now the last thing I'm going to hit on in Viago is our training system. So we have an incredible training system where you can learn on the go, literally training that you can listen to while you're driving, call it, Drive Time University. So you can also listen to it while you're working out or while you're making, so it's not taking time out of your day. And it's something that you can listen to training on demand from our conventions and from our weekly conversations. So, and then we have an event system that we have, and our first launch event for the company is going to be in Las Vegas, October 25th through the 27th. Okay, so this is going to be the most important event for our company, and I definitely want you to be there. Now, getting started, just to let you guys know, very simple. All right, so $499, that includes your annual ambassador fee for the $49, includes your first month of membership for the $99, gives you 500 points, $100 in product credit, and every month. So, and then at the end of the year, you get that getaway vacation on us, which is pretty cool. So basically that's our club. So let me ask you a question. What did you like best? So now from this is where I'm going to close. So I'm going to close at the end of the presentation and ask a closing question. So what did you like best? Or I can go right into the close. So, sorry, are you ready to get started? So did everything make sense? These are kind of like closing questions. So do you see yourself going to Dubai with me? Right. Now, many times when you're getting to this part of the presentation, which takes about 15, 20 minutes, shouldn't take much longer than that. So at the end of the presentation, once you've kind of gotten there and you're about to ask them this, you should kind of have an idea. Are they giving you a lot of the buying signs? Like, are they like engaged? Are they like, yeah, Usually if somebody's like that, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're interested, maybe they're not. Now, here's what's fascinating. So I got so many presentation stories, it's stupid, right? So, but I remember vividly this one guy who was the most negative person I thought I was presenting to, who was just like stone cold. Yeah. Sure. Yep. Yeah. And I was just going faster because I was like, let me just get this over with so I can move on. Right. So, because this guy's not going to be interested. And at the end, I was like, yeah, so that's the presentation. Yeah. So do you want to do it? And he was like, yeah, it looks good. Let's do it. And I was so shocked at the end of this presentation that this guy wanted to join, because I was like, I even stopped and I was like, so you want to do it? He was like, yeah, it looks good. And it was just the way that his brain processed things. I don't know. So now, usually most people will give you a little bit more of a buying signs, right? So as you're kind of leaning in, they're getting this information, but learning to ask questions. So during your presentation is presenting it. So now today, I'm not going to go through, there's a lot of extra bells and whistles that we can add into this as you start getting good, which is leading questions, hook-ended questions, and things like that, which you can start asking your presentations. But the main thing is this, is what we have is good. What we're presenting. We're not asking people to buy something that they have to justify the expense. Truly, if somebody uses the benefits of our membership on a small level, it is going to save them more than they would ever spend on the membership. From the products that they're going to get access to wholesale because of being a Club Viago member through our marketplace, whether it be on one trip a year, even if they didn't go on any escapes, and the only thing they used their membership for was on our products and a 7-night vacation they could drive to on the 7-night hotel stay near their home, it would still be worth it for them and the value of our membership on a monthly basis. So what I need to do is I need to find one. Now, for me, there's a lot of reasons why somebody would join Viago, okay? Many of you have the reasons why you've joined Viago. Many of you have their exciting things that you love about it, which are important to share in your story and your testimonial. But here's what's amazing. How many reasons do they need to join Viago? And the answer is one. I don't need to have hundreds of reasons for them to join. Just need one. If they want to go to Italy and I can show them how they can save money going to Italy, that might be the only reason. I don't need to get them so excited about their future and all these different things. We can do that after they've enrolled. I want to get them in. So it was like, let's get them in, and then we can expand upon all the amazing reasons and benefits and things they have access to. But I want to get them into experiencing it. So as you're going out there and doing these presentations, and as we kind of wrap up here today's training, is scheduling. Now, here's one of those things. I know for many of you guys, this might feel like a lot. And I remember thinking to myself in the very beginning, I don't think I could ever do that. But then once I saw it a bunch of times, I realized, oh, you could do this. So does it take practice? 100%. But the more you start doing it, the more comfortable you get with it, and then the more fun it begins. And in the beginning, you stop caring about who says yes and who says no, and you're just doing the business. We are in the business of presenting Viago. That's what we do. What I'm trying to do is take people from not knowing to knowing. So let me just kind of give you this as we wrap this up and understanding what the game is that we're playing. So there are people out there that don't know. Then there are people who know. Your job is to get them over the line. There are people who don't know about Viago. We want them to know about Viago. Their job is to make a decision whether or not it's for them or not. So what do? We present information and we collect decisions. We present information and we collect decisions. We present information and we collect decisions. And that's all I'm doing over and over and over and over. So what am I going to do this week? I'm going to present Viago and collect a decision. What's that decision? Do you want to join the club? Do you want to have a better quality of life in 2024, 2025? So I believe that you joining our community will improve the quality of your life. That's what I believe. I believe that it's going to do that. Now, I also believe that being in this association, because I'm not introducing them to me, I'm introducing them to us. These people get to come hang out with us. They get to spend time with us. So, and I think we're a good group of people to spend time with in this world, where people are coming together to create, more value than anything. So let me wrap with this just to tease you. I told you I would salivate you a little bit here, and I want to show you guys just a little bit on the experience. I think I can connect it here. So, let let's see. So I think you guys can see here. This was us passed out flying. This was in Singapore airport. We had to connect through Singapore. They had this beautiful exhibit that was there. Then we landed. And as soon as we landed, we've got the Jesse Macpherson. They got your name with the Club Viago sign. And then one of the things that Phoenix always loves is riding in the carts. So as we got set up there, then on the way when we landed, this was their welcome sign. They had a welcome drink for us with little brownies when we just got in there. This was on the bed when you got there, right? So welcome with some fruit, and they had this fresh banana nut bread, which was really good. So in there, and then this was just a quick video from our resort. There's 4 pools, I'm pretty sure, at this place. So, if you haven't been to the Absolute Twin Sands, and right off of the balcony, and there's Phoenix, we rented. This was Dominic and Whitney Curry. By the way, I cannot wait for you to see Dr. Dominic Curry as one of the guest trainers who's going to be speaking at our event over there. This was our morning kind of huddle before we went on our first excursion. So we got in the van and went down to our catamaran. So we had 2 catamarans actually that went out for the day. And this was the first place that we went to, which was super gorgeous. It was Coral Beach or something, if I remember correctly. Now, what you didn't see is, you can, I'm gonna, let's see if I have a picture of it. I'm pretty sure. Do I have a picture of it on the way out? I did. All right. So on the way in, so they have this thing, like this floating dock, and they didn't explain it well to us. And we have a few people that, had like canes and crutches, and it was like the Hunger Games, let me tell you. It was it was wild. We called this thing the Blue Monster. We should have just dumped people in the water and let them swim to shore. It would have been easier and safer than this thing. But anyway, it was fun. Everybody survived. But this was the crew that was out there living the good life, right? So, and from our first trip over here. And so there we go, Viago. I'm going to be doing some post about this here today. And then look at these, fire, 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 fire. Look at these photos, man. I didn't take these, so these are great. So, and then this was where they had the kitchen, where they had the first dinner when we went there at that night, where there is, by the way, this is all included in the trip. The lunch, the dinners, all of this is included, right? And then they give you resort credit at the property, which was even crazier. So, by the way, Thailand, one of my favorite things is they have fresh squeezed pomegranate juice for like $1. So, and they give it to you over there, and you would swore they put sugar in it because it just tastes so stupid good. So, okay. And then the workouts that we did. Then we went to this beachfront. So this place called Paradise Beach. This was, it was just crazy beautiful. So at Paradise Beach. And then we came back to another present. So they apparently found out it was my birthday, and they gave me a bottle of Red Label whiskey on my bed at the place. But anyway, this was like day 2 of this trip, just to let you guys know. Then they took us to a Thai tasting menu at their restaurant. So, and this was at the Blue Mango, as they would call it. So these are all of our peeps. And as you can see, they just loaded it up. It was super, super, super yummy. The Thai curry, if you haven't had Thai food, that was there. Then presentations. By the way, this is me doing presentations and 3-way phone calls. So while I'm there, so I'm still kicking butt. This was us, more juice, because I'm like a juice freak while I'm there. So, and then Patong Beach, this is the beachfront. There's Phoenix. We had a fun day playing with the pigeons. She was very fascinated by these pigeons. So, and then scared of the pigeons, which I understand why, because pigeons are terrifying. Then this was our beachfront pizza, or our waterfront pizza, which she was trying my shake. She didn't like the shake that much. So yeah, I mean, look, this is rough. I'm doing phone calls in 3 ways. Then that night we went to our white party, which is our farewell party, which there's the welcome drinks. This is a cool sign. Do what you love. And I can't go, let's see what we have here. That was the making the stuff. This was our farewell, a little white party at the end. So this is me acting a fool after a few sips from that red label. So anyway, moving on. Then there's the elephants. This is walking distance, literally from the hotel where you get to go feed the elephants. Okay, so and Phoenix was not really having it. She was like, we went here before, so and she was like, I'm not really sure. So these guys are a little big, and then she was like, all right, mom's feeding them. I kind of am getting this. What are we gonna do here? Do I feed them? Is this safe? And then the baby comes over. And the baby's like, no, and she's like, no, no, no. And then she was like, no, you're fine. And then we were like, no, you just got to feed. You feed the elephant. And then so we ended up try to give it to her. So, and then we're like, here, you feed the baby, feed the baby, feed the baby, feed the baby. And then of course, Phoenix was like, I don't think I'm gonna feed the baby. So so she ate it herself. She's like, those aren't for elephants, those are for me. um, so anyway, hanging out with the elephants, right? So which was a lot of fun. And then and then the tigers, all right? So we got a chance to go hang out with the tigers. So check out the tigers. So this is a tiger kingdom. So, and which is crazy. So this guy's name is Tequila. So we got along really well. Okay. And then I was hanging out with this other one, and then he got up and look at my face. Look at my face when I was like, oh no, he's moving. No, no, I don't like this. What do I do? This is me looking at the guy who I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And, and he was like, yeah, move, get up, get up. I was like, okay, okay, I'm getting up. So anyway, this is my other buddy. Oh, look at the toy car. So, and then Phoenix, they let him play with this one. Look at this guy. So look at the little baby tiger. So anyway, it was fun. So there was Tiger Kingdom. Okay, then the next day, and then we went down. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. And look, guys, I didn't even capture most of it. This is in Krabi. This was we went to a new destination. This is Phoenix. This is what she does in every hotel we get into. She just jumps on the bed. So, she's obviously my daughter. Um, and I don't even know how to describe to you how pretty this place was. So, well, here's our waterfront, salmon, and Phoenix over there having a little bit of fun. And let me show you. This is the night market in Krabi. There is like all of this incredible food that they make in all these little stalls. So it's kind of like hundreds of little like street vendor places of like I can't even tell you how many how many different things. So and then there's of course my wife getting brownies. So and lychee soda. So and then we went to this, which is probably the most beautiful cave grotto restaurant I've ever seen in my whole life. I gotta have a video in here somewhere, right? So of this place and the food so that they brought. So the tartar, tuna, and then this is like inside of this cave that is beachfront to this place. And the drinks were just crazy. And yeah, so this and then the monkeys. These are monkeys that were playing right above us. Look at the little baby monkeys. Okay. Oh, the monkeys, right? So, and then there was like a rock climb. This was her like checking out all the monkeys. And then there was this cool rock climbing place where people go rock climbing. And then down the beach, some of you guys saw I posted this so this was day before yesterday. This is Monday. This is yesterday. So this is where we're at. Okay. Now, okay. If I got a chance, and then this is our flight home. This was our boat back. and then through the airport and all the fun that we had there. Okay. So by the way, we have a big ass king bed. And then of course, where does Phoenix sleep? Look, this is where she sleeps. Look at this. This is my side of the bed. She looks like she just died over there. Now, but why is this? I'm showing you all of this. I just spent the last 10 minutes. Facts tell, stories sell, right? This is on purpose. So do you guys realize that what I just did, taking the pictures and taking this and throwing you all this other stuff, is wildly more important than me showing you a slide? It is. Go on a trip. So go on a trip, document it, grab it. Now, some of you guys are like, I'm not good at taking pictures. Well, go start taking pictures. How do you get good at taking pictures? Go to take pictures. So go to YouTube, how to take better pictures, right? So there's a way to do that. Also, find out whoever's on the trip who takes good pictures and steal. Remember, copy, steal their stuff, right? So everywhere I'm going, I'm taking pictures because I'm posting it for the groups to be able to use. So that way anybody can use any of my content in the same way that you guys can be like, oh my God, here was my friend. He was just in this. So I'm editing, video editing and all this other stuff. So I'm sharing all of that, and I'm sharing, and I'm closing with this just because the best form of you inviting somebody to join the club is showing them you having an experience of being in the club. Here's how I'm saving. Here's how I'm using it. Here's the benefit to me. I want to invite you to come join me on this experience, on this new trip, on this, on how this can, here's how it's been great for me. I want it to be great for you. I want you to experience more of the world and more of life, right? And all that. Now, I know there's objections. I know a lot of that. We did a training on objections. So go back a couple weeks and you guys can re-listen to that. And we'll definitely do some more here on closing. But what I want you to do is get out there and start presenting. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. We'll see you guys in the next training. Jesse Mack signing off from Manila. Bye for now.